right, guys. It's Module 8, basic employability skills. Okay, it's another quick one here. Okay, upon completion of this module, you'll be able to explain your role as an employee in the construction industry, demonstrate critical thinking skills and the ability to solve problems using those skills, demonstrate knowledge of computer systems and explain common uses for computers in construction industry, define effective relationship skills, and recognize workplace issues such as sexual harassment, stress, and substance abuse. A performance tasks, you will demonstrate the ability to access, retrieve, and print from the following basic software programs. All right, the way you speak, act, and interact is called self-presentation. Okay, so guys, when you guys go out and you're looking for a job, you have to remember the interview starts when you walk through the door. So being presentable and courteous to the first person you meet, which is usually going to be a receptionist or some type of assistant, that's really when the interview starts, you know. And so you want to make sure as soon as you show up, you're presentable and you're speaking properly, you know, not using profane language, and you know, being polite. Being dependable means showing up for work on time every day. Okay, dependable employees are great because you know that when you schedule work and you have stuff that needs to get done, you know that the right people will be there for the job. Okay. Here's an organizational chart of a business. Okay, 5 steps to problem solving. You will never stop learning better ways to solve problems if you are open to change. Hey guys, in general, you should never stop learning. You should always be striving to learn something new every day. So these are the 5 basic steps. You're going to define the problem, analyze and explore alternatives, choose a solution and plan its implementation, put the solution into effect, and monitor the results. If it works, you evaluate the final result. If it doesn't work, go back and choose another way to go after it, okay? All right, critical thinking is the process of evaluating information and reaching a conclusion or making a decision. Computer systems consist of hardware, software, and operating systems. Okay, so hardware is what we can touch and feel, you know, the laptop itself, the computer tower, the keyboard, the mouse, the monitor, those are all hardware. Software are programs that we use on the computer, okay? You know, so these are things like PowerPoint, Internet Explorer, you know, Microsoft Word, and then operating systems are things like Windows, and that's the organization of the software. You know, that's what creates your interface of how you access the software and how the computer operates. Okay, here's some samples of computer software. Got a few different AutoCAD samples here. Okay, here's a few more. Primavera. Looks like these are for construction timing and costs. A device that helps increase field worker productivity by providing reliable location and time data is called a GPS. As we're kind of spoiled, we have access to a basic one of these in all our cell phones. Machine tools that are controlled by computers are called CNC. CNC is an abbreviation for computer numeric control. Okay, in the shop here at the college, we have a CNC plasma cutter. So with an interface of AutoCAD software, we can use a drawing created in AutoCAD and actually cut that out using the CNC plasma cutter. Okay, this is a bar chart measuring progress. It can also be referred to as a Gantt chart. And this is a way to schedule things on a construction site. Kind of the timeline of when certain things are going to be going on, because you're going to have to do the excavation before the foundations are started, and then those two have to be done before the structural steel really starts. So you've got to have a timeline so that you kind of know when these different contractors need to be on site and what kind of deadlines you have for certain parts of the project. If you see a potential source of delay on a project, notify your supervisor immediately. So we're going to go back here real quick. So when we look at all these different things that are going on and the dates that are listed here, you know, we have some stuff here that, like I said, you know, you're not going to do your structural steel without having, you know, your foundation done. And you're going to need, you know, a lot of stuff done before you can do your interior partitions or your mechanical. You know, your mechanical is like your HVAC systems and these other systems that go onto your building. So a lot of things have to be done prior to that happening. So it's really important when you look at the amount of time, the amount of money, and the amount of people that are going into a business, you know, into a project like this, having things on schedule is very important. A lot of times also when you're doing state projects, there's bonuses for meeting the deadline, which means that once you exceed that, you're paid less for the job, or you may lose a certain amount of money per day or week that you go over the deadline. Okay, a common problem on the job site that contributes to delays is absenteeism. Okay, if your people aren't at work, it's awful hard to get things done the way they need to be. Okay, the contribution of each member of a group towards a common goal is called teamwork. Getting along with coworkers and thinking critically are examples of interpersonal skills. Okay, guys, you have to remember when you're on the job with people, you don't have to like them, but you have to be able to have enough mutual respect that you can work together efficiently. Because at the end of the day, you know, getting things done needs to happen as a team to move the whole company forward. You know, like I work, you know, here at the college, I work with other instructors, administrators, and support staff to make sure that everything happens on a timely basis so that we can get through these classes the way we need to, and you guys can have the experience that you need to have. Okay. Discrimination towards an individual based on race, sex, religion, cultural issues, or language barriers is known as harassment. Okay. And then a type of, well, let's speak on that just a little bit more. Just remember, guys, we want to be able to be in a workplace where everyone feels supported and is working towards the same goal. And you also have to remember that harassment isn't just, you know, direct attacks on a person, you know, telling inappropriate jokes or making inappropriate comments that may be in your group of friends you think is acceptable. When you're on a job site, if someone nearby hears those comments and is offended, that is still considered harassment. So we need to be careful, and we need to be cognizant of what we say and how we act when we're around other people, especially when you look at large job sites where you have multiple different people coming and going at the same time. And then a type of drug that distorts your perception of reality is a hallucinogen. The process of interacting with another person or group is a relationship. Okay, so you know, you have to have working professional relationships with the people that you work with. Okay. And alcohol is a substance that is considered socially acceptable when used in moderation. But remember, drinking on the job is not going to be permitted. Drinking at lunch and then coming back to work is not permitted. Okay. One other thing that we need to probably amend this to, because of recent legislation in California, is that now marijuana is legal and considered socially acceptable, but it could also be considered a drug and be against company policy or against certain federal regulations. If we look at the trucking industry, even though it's legal in the state, it's still not going to be legal to have a positive drug test for marijuana. Just keep that in mind, guys. Review the PowerPoint and be ready to test on this.